Hey, what's up? What's up? It is December 30th. Yeah, almost the new year. Almost 2018. This is the autoflower Sensi Skunk by Sensi Seeds. And she is now 81 days old. She's getting pretty close to being done. And for those who don't know, I'm growing her under the Perfect Sun cob at perfectsunled.com. Alright, so this is the deal. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, yeah, she survived. And you can see, look at that. See where it's cracked? And I just stuffed a bunch of coco in between that crack to make sure there was no more spots that were empty. That were, any air filled in there. Now, as you can see, I'm actually surprised this one doesn't have any algae growing on top of it since it's all rock wool. And this is the lightest of all of them. Like, rock wool gets really, really light even when it's like, fully saturated. It's been, just drip fed every 3 hours. So, but you can already see these ones, because they're packed by the coco actually keeps the rock wool a little bit more moist than when it's surrounded by this all rock wool. And anyway, so I need to put something on top of here, whether it's sand or some nat nicks or something like that. Now, interesting enough, the Gorilla Glue by Fast Buds, well, not really interesting enough, it's the smallest and least developed of all of them. As you can see, she has her second set of true leaves coming in, but they're pretty small. This is the Dutch Passions Blueberry OG. And this one over here is Mephisto's 3 Bear OG. It's the biggest so far. It's got the biggest, it's secondary, first off, it's almost, in this one, these two are almost the same size, but that one's new leaves are a little bit bigger, I think, the 3 Bear OG. Just slightly bigger. Not much though. They're pretty much neck and neck. Yeah, they're both doing great. So yeah, anyway, they're on 0.5 right now. Bloom, because I was going to switch it over to grow, because it's already been about, well, it's day 6 now, so and this tote would last a little longer than I would want it to on bloom, but whatever. So they're on bloom for now until I can find my other grower. I could go buy some more Psycho Grow. I might have to order it on Amazon, so it might take a little while to get here. No big deal though. You can do bloom the whole entire grow, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, they're doing great. Then we got the big mama right here. Look at this thing. I want to try to get a good view of it for the time-lapse video. There we go. Look at her colors. The colors are absolutely awesome. Look at that big old one right there. Look at this. Look at that stacking up on that thing. It goes way down there too. This one's all flopping over. Those ones are flopping over. Look at these ones way down here. Look how far away. This is way out on the edge, so far away from the light. The corner light is hitting it. Look at that. Look how good it's developing. And it's actually got some decent density to it. It's not as dense, obviously, as the ones up here, but wow, that one's fucking solid, rock hard. Holy cow. And yeah, so they didn't blow up as big as I thought they would. But look, I can't get my hands on. They're bigger than bananas, so that's good. And as you can see, I'll go ahead and get a look in here. Let's just go look at this jungle real fast. Nice, nice. On full blast, about 2 feet away. And let's go and zoom in on this thing right here. Look at this. Yeah, so this is one of the ones where the leaves themselves don't get much frost, but the bud gets lots of color and frost. Look at all that. That's some nice color. That's some like, skunk, some like orange skunk. And that's what it reminds me of. That we have here in Oregon. We got this stuff called orange skunk, and it's just what it looks like. It's absolutely amazing looking. So you can see there's still some, there's still some white hairs there. And notice how the hairs aren't fully shriveled up yet. They're starting to shrivel up. See how some of them are shriveled up? And not all strains do it, but most strains, the hairs will start to shrivel up. Now you can see, about, a little more than half of them definitely already turned orange. I would say, yeah, more than half has turned orange. Yeah, if you just look at it like that, you can see more than half has turned orange. Now, I couldn't find my loop, so I'm having a hard time actually seeing the trichomes. But I did take my camera and I zoomed in full blast, and I just got really, really close and it's really hard to see though. But I'll show you basically what I did. And it's like I have to try to like hold my arm steady here, and I gotta get like this. But I still can't, you know, I still can't see the colors. It's kind of hard. And I can see some of them. I can see a lot of the cloudy ones. I see some amber here and there. But it's really hard to see that way. So I got to find my loop, and unfortunately, it wasn't where it was supposed to be. I had everything packed up in the house exactly how I wanted it to. That is, nightstand goes in a box called nightstand. You know, my nightstand, her nightstand stuff, her nightstand. That way, everything in the house should be exactly how I, you know, how I remember it being. So I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I have. That's where I keep my loop at, and my loop's not there. And so that's kind of a bummer. I'm like, oh man, oh whatever. So look at all those tops. Basically then I'm just going by, you know, my old school method, and that is I watch them, and I already know, you know, it's only day 81, so I know this wasn't going to be done until like day 85, 90, something like that. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't, you know, and I did drop it down, since it's the only plant that's on the drum right now. I did drop it down to 0.6 EC because I know it's getting closer to being done. And preferably, I like to drop my plants down in nutrients when they're getting close to being done. Not all the way down, just down. Normally be about 0.8 to 1.0, depending on the strain. This one liked 0.8. Now you can see the leaves are starting to lighten up a little bit here and there, and that's good. That means you know, she doesn't need as much nutrients right now. But there's still a good amount of the PK booster in there right now, trying to hopefully, I'm hoping that she's still going to bulk up. She has bulked up in the last 2 days, so like this one wasn't nearly as big like this. So if you look closely also, you can see the I think it said calyx. I'm not sure if that's how it said for the plant, but you can see them starting to they're pretty much bulked up. Some of them, it's harder to tell than others. Like this one here, you can definitely see they're bulked up. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. You can definitely see they're bulked up on this one. Like right there, you can see that one, and you can see a little bit. See that right there, starting to star off on there. That's what I look for. I look for when the plants start to star off. But the main thing I look for is for the hairs to start receding more. And I just, you know, the hairs just haven't really. Look at that one. The hairs haven't receded a whole lot in some of these. Actually, on most of them, the hairs are still sticking out pretty good distance. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the hairs to recede in. I'm gonna wait till about day 85. 90, if they haven't bulked up more by then, you know, starting to get bigger by then, and I don't know, I might have to just go buy at least a temporary loop, because I don't know, the ones on Amazon might. I have Amazon Prime, so if I can find one for Amazon Prime, it might get here in time, because you know the Christmas is over, so shipping should be back to normal again, or pretty close from Amazon. So I'll see if I can't get one in within a couple of days, and if I can, then that's cool. I'll go and order that and have that here in a couple of days. Then I can at least look at the trichomes and see exactly what's going on. But just based on how it looks right now, I would say that it's not done yet. You know, but it's getting close. It's getting close. So I'm thinking maybe a week left, hopefully. If not, maybe a little bit longer. You never know. I mean, sometimes the way I grow autos, I can get them to go pretty long. So, but yeah, look at this thing. All under the Perfect Sun cob. Bam, perfectsunled.com. Go check that out. And if for just those that are kind of interested in what I've been doing outside of growing marijuana, I've been working on a couple different things here. So for those that don't care about my life or anything like that, then you've already got the update. Everything's good to go. Basically, what I've been doing is I've been working on a couple different things. I've been working on a collection. I call it the nature figure collection. And the idea is that every figure, it's basically a figure drawing right now, and then they're going to be figure paintings. They're going to be watercolors. It's going to be a watercolor collection. And I don't know if you guys seen my one I did, and that one was pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to include that one. That one might be in more of the dark collection. But anyway, that one was like the three women molded together, making a kind of like a skull face. It has a lot of meaning to it, so it's kind of cool. And these all these paintings are gonna have meaning to them. I don't know if you guys saw the one I posted called "Fake Butts Blowing Up Social Media." and that's the title of that painting. And that one's pretty cool. It has a lot of meaning to it too, and it's more than just, you know, the surface meaning. There's other meaning there too. And then I worked on a couple others that I got going on, and one other one I just finished the sketch for. That's going to be included in this collection. And if you haven't noticed that one, her feet are like part trees, and her head is like a tree trunk, so she doesn't even have a real head. Some of them will actually have faces. The next one, she has an actual face, but her body is half her body is kind of being pulled toward nature, represented by a tree, and the other half of her body is being pulled towards technology, and even a part of her arm is actually like robotic. And then her eye, one of her eyes, anyway, it's really cool, and part of her face is kind of robotic, and I think that one's gonna be really cool. And that one's called Techno Struggle. And actually it has more meanings to it than what you might think. And it's pretty cool. If you just look at it and check it out, you'll see like there's some, like I put an apple in there for a reason on the tree, and there's just one single apple, and there's a reason why that's there, and it makes it have a deeper meaning. So I like to have like, there's the main theme, and then like try to build upon that theme and have other deeper meanings and other things that you know, it's basically a political statement about something. And anyway, I have some other ideas too that I'm working on still. I did some quick sketches, and I got to go and do the more deeper sketches. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I've been working on, and ultimately it's to be a collection of paintings, each one having a meaning. And the idea is that everyone is going to be a figure painting of a female, and that it's going to be somehow, it's going to have some sort of meaning to it, whether social or religious or political or multiple meanings. You know, like that is more than one of those meanings at the same time. Like let's say social and political, or social and religion, or a scientific meaning, or you know, something like that. Anyway, they're all going to have some sort of meaning to them, but also they all incorporate nature and human figures, and in some way the nature kind of has to be part of the human figure, whether they're turning a human figure or really interacting with it in some real way. I kind of want to make it to where everyone is part of nature, like becoming part of nature, or nature's becoming part of it. And so I have another one I'm working on where a couple ideas, I'm not sure which one to do on this one yet, but it's going to be, and it's obviously a political statement on what's been happening now with the police and black people. And one of them is a black woman is walking into the wind, and she's struggling against the wind, and the wind is kind of like becoming part of her, so part of her will be kind of like the wind, and it's blowing off the blackness of her skin, so part of her body is white, where the wind has blown off the blackness, and then the blackness is kind of like little particles and dust blowing off of her. And I think the meaning there is pretty, I think there's kind of multiple meanings on there, but you can kind of see the ultimate meaning there. And I might even have like anyway, another one was where either a political figure like within the government in a suit is pouring water onto a black person, and where the water is touching, it's white, you know, it's washing away the black skin and making it white skin. And so the idea there is that you know, at least one of the meanings there that I'm going for is that they're trying to, like, society and everything right now is like trying to push people to be white, you know, like being white's better or something like that, and how it's hard for, it's getting better now, but it's harder for black people to get the same jobs as a white person because they're not looked at the same. It's almost like society wants you to at least pretend to be white, even if you have dark skin, talk like you're a white person, act like you're a white person. And you know, and then of course another one was like being blasted with a fire hose, the same idea, instead of the wind, but a fire hose blasting the woman, blasting all the black off her, and it would be a police officer holding the hose. In this case, it would be a political statement about the police officers. And the title of that one would be called Police Academy 101. And so the idea behind that, obviously, on the basic level, is all the black people being shot by white officers, and it'd be a white cop that's blowing her with a fire hose. And that goes back to, you know, the old school days when you know, they can actually legally do that and would spray down black people with fire hoses as a form of brutality, really. And they thought they were, you know, so-called doing the right thing, but whatever. Look at this one. This one's dense too. Damn. Look at it. It goes way down there. It's like there's a lot of bud structure right here, and this one right here has got a good size to it. And yeah, so I like it. There's a lot of buds. There's a lot of good sizes. I mean, that's what I've been working on, is that collection. And so if you guys have any cool ideas that you want to throw my way, feel free. I've been trying to think of one since, you know, another one is like two lesbians are kind of making an X shape, and they're kind of forming together with liquid and water, and part of their bodies are actually forming into water. And that the idea there is anti-lesbianism, and I'm not anti-gay at all. It's just I'm just sharing different political views that are out there, and that's one of the meanings behind it. And in the background would be a swastika with, and this is I don't know if this will be the background of this one or not yet, but I want to do a background where there's a swastika that's done in the rainbow colors that represents, you know, pro-homosexuality, but because it's a swastika, which is negative, it's basically a way to say like anti-gay. And then another one is going to be positive gay, and I haven't really decided on the positive. I have a couple of different ideas I've been sketching out for the positive gay one, but it's just show different political views that are out there. You know, some people are pro-gay, some people are anti-gay, and so I want to like express that also with my nature figure drawings. And yeah, so I want to incorporate one with marijuana. So I've been trying to think of one. Obviously, it's going to be, you know, pro-marijuana, and I'm just thinking of some cool figure drawing that I can do that would incorporate nature. In this case, the marijuana plant and the woman, but also having a political view. And it can't be like, you know, simple like a woman just smoking a joint or something like that. And, you know, I don't know. It's got to be something really cool, and it's got to have cool form and stuff to it. So I've been thinking about really a cool shape, and the shape I want to achieve. Maybe I can have a figure like women that are part marijuana trees or marijuana plants, and then have them forming like the shape of a pot leaf, but it'll be actual women. So one woman here, and each one having the pose to make the leaves. So looking like the marijuana leaf. That'd be kind of interesting, but I don't think it'd really be that artistic, or that, I don't know, it's just too simplistic, I think. So I need to think of something more deep, and I can do with it. So I don't know. I'll be thinking on that one. If anyone has any cool ideas, let me know. But that's one thing I've been working on. And then I've also been working on my my philosophy. So my philosophy channel, just adding more videos. I just added a recent one, you know, who is the real Satan? A lot of people think that Satan historically was an evil figure, but historically he wasn't. It wasn't until around when Christianity started to rise that Satan got transformed into this this evil anti-God figure. But if you look at the history of Satan, originally he was actually an obedient angel of God in the Old Testament Judaism. And I don't believe in any of that stuff. I'm just saying mythologically, though, people got him wrong. Then I share my understanding of who Satan is, and it's really a quite interesting story. So if you guys want to check that out, that's on my Gnosticism channel. And then yeah, so and then yeah, so that's basically what I'm working on right now. So all right, guys, a little bit of my personal life, just so you guys get to know me, if you want, for those that actually care to. And yeah, so we got the Goliath over here. Boom, way up there. Look at it. It's way up there. This is a 7-foot tall 11 tent, and I only got a little bit of space up there, maybe a foot from the top to the thing, maybe a little bit more. And then it's going all the way down here, and these are just small pots here. These are only a foot tall, I think. And then the plant is down further inside the pot, so they're a good distance away, and they're not in the center of the light. They're kind of on the edge of the light a little bit. And yeah, so that's that. And I think I might come out with the Goliath version, you know, an updated version of the Goliath that has multiple PCBs in there, so it's easier. That way I can actually ship PCBs if anything ever goes wrong and you need to replace one. And then also maybe have a toggle switches on there which act like dimmer switches. I don't want to do an actual dimmer switch that gives people too much control. And when people have too much control, they tend to fuck things up. And that's why I deliberately put 2 switches on my Cobb Light and not dimmer switches. Because if you put a dimmer switch on there, someone might, you know, some people will do great with it and fine tune it just right. But you know, I want it dummy proof. And so with just the switches on there, it's pretty much dummy proof. You put in seedling stage, and you can still have it at a good, you know, pretty, you know, decently close to your plants, you know, 3 feet away or so, and everything's gonna be fine. You're using a lot less electricity. When they go into veg mode, you switch one switch on, switch other switch off, switch both switches on when you want to go to full blast mode. And yeah, It just makes it much more easier than to have to like fine tune the switch and go, okay, it needs to be at number 9 here, it needs to be at number 7 at this stage of growth. And then people tend to like use too less of light or too much of light when they're doing that. And this way it makes it really easy for me to give instructions on how to use the light and when to switch to those different switches and have at those different distances. And just keep an eye on the leaves. And you know, I really pushed my plant, as you can see, but she's the same. She hasn't changed. So notice those leaves are still sticking up. That's more away from the light. But the leaves haven't changed as far as like they're not getting more, they're not turning like lighter from light burn. They're not becoming more choco. They're staying the same. And in fact, some of them are actually starting to stick up more. They're not clawing down away from the light as much. So it means they're starting to harden and get used to that light. And this is going to really make them get really dense and hopefully bulk up a little bit more. But nonetheless, I think that even if I were to cut her down right now, she would be pretty healthy, heavy plant. But yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And that's it. And if you guys have any questions about me, about anything, whether it's about my personal life, my philosophy, anything like that, feel free to ask me. If you don't want to ask it in public, I understand. You can email it or IM me. If you don't know how to email me, just go to any of my websites. The links are in the description of this video. And just click on contact, and then you can email me that way. And yeah, so, and you know, I've been kind of looking forward to some of you guys coming over to Pal Talk and to the religious debate room that I go to. And it's total free speech. You can talk about anything, and you go there and talk about marijuana. I talk about marijuana here and there, and getting in debates about marijuana and whether or not it's a medicine or a drug. And of course, I'm of the opinion that it's a medicine and that it's actually good for you. Of course, you know, inhaling smoke isn't good for your lungs because it's hot smoke, and that's never good for your lungs. So it's obviously better to eat it or to consume it in that way, or to, in the very minimum, to vape it. But nonetheless, you know, my wife now, she just straight smokes dabs, and that can't be good for her lungs. But that's what, you know, helps her. And I guess she's kind of vaping in a way, you know, in a bong or whatever. But I'm not sure if they make a vaporizer that keeps at a low enough temp, you know. And she tries to do it at the lowest temp possible. That will still turn it into vapor. But still, even vaping, you're still, even if it's a good ice bong, a water bong, whatever cools the smoke down, it's still smoke going into your lungs, and that can't be healthy for your lungs, you know. It's oil. You're smoking oil. It's just like they thought those vape pens were fine and good for you, and I knew. I'm like, you know what? They're going to do research. They're going to figure out that smoking vegetable oil is not good for you. Flavored, you know, oil cannot be good for your lungs. It just can't be good to smoke oil, period, and bring that into your lungs. And that's why I stopped smoking the vape pen a long time ago, because I just realized, you know, this is wrong. And now they've discovered it. You know, that they did studies and they show that it's actually really bad for your lungs. So pretty much, you know, inhaling anything besides, you know, the natural oxygen and air that you're supposed to is probably bad for your lungs. You can just pretty much assume that. And you know, and I know it's so much more convenient, you know, just to smoke marijuana than is to vape it or eat it. And eating it doesn't work for my fiance. You know, she can eat tons of marijuana and it still doesn't touch her nauseousness. And it really doesn't do anything for her at all, except for make her tired. So yeah, anyways, if she can eat it, that would be definitely the preferable way she would do it. But RSO does help her a little bit, so that's kind of a good thing. She takes RSO capsules, and that does help her nauseousness some. It helps her back pain more than it helps her nauseousness. The only thing I've seen helps her nauseousness is actually smoking the dabs. Sometimes smoking marijuana will touch it a little bit, but the problem is that she has smoked so much of it, and then even then it doesn't touch it as much. It doesn't help her nauseousness as much as dabs do. So, or any form of, you know, very strong smokable oil. Hash doesn't really touch it much either. It has to be like a strong oil, like an 80% THC or a stronger oil, at least 75%. You know, like a good honey oil or a good, you know, shatter, or, you know, oils like that, basically. All right, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions too for the channel, let me know. I'm all ears for different stuff to do besides just, you know, teaching videos and then grow updates and stuff like that. So yeah, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Double peace.